Dear learners, today we will know about IELTS writing. This is an introductory lecture. This is the beginning of our lecture. You will get more videos about our IELTS writing. So this is the important lecture because if you don't know the basic idea about IELTS writing, you cannot do better in your IELTS exam. So let's start. What we learn today? We learn what is freehand writing, what is IELTS writing, how is your writing assessed, complex sentence and use of linkers, how to start and end essay, what is task 1 and task 2. These are the things we will learn today. So now we will go for what is freehand writing. You have seen that the best book in the world about writing, a writer's reference, is the latest edition and 7th edition, written by Diana Hacker and Nancy Schumer from Harvard University. So I'm going to introduce with the writers. So this is the best book, or with the request of the student from the Oxford Cambridge University. Nancy Schumer and Diana Hacker actually wrote this book for the students, but this has become the famous book in the world. And now he is serving in Harvard University. So let's go. Where I'm going to show you something. So actually, something is called cluster. You know what is cluster? For example, in IELTS writing, you will get about obesity in children. The people, the children are become obese day by day. So how can you write on obesity of children? This is called clustering. You will get brainstorming. You will jot down ideas. From obesity children, you will think about the diet. Yeah, diet is responsible for obesity, health problem later in life. If you are obese, definitely you will face problem, exercise. So everything you will find here, heart attack, disorder sleep, both negative and positive, everything is related to obesity. Okay, so how can you reduce obesity? This clustering program. First, you will think about the idea, you will jot down idea, they will elaborate the idea in your essay. That is actually called clustering diagram. Now we are going for another thing, that is freehand writing. Freehand writing. Okay. So freehand writing. What is freehand writing? I am going to explain it. You need it for your IELTS. Freehand writing, in its purest form, free writing is simply non-stop writing. I mean, you can stop, you can think more, because it will not be a literature, poem, or other thing. It's freehand writing. You set aside 10 minutes or so and write whatever comes to mind. Just take 10 minutes and write whatever comes to your mind. No need to think about the word, diction, ideas, nothing. Without pausing to think about word choice, spelling, or even meaning. For example, you want to write cat, but you have written pet. Doesn't matter. Just write. If you get stuck that you cannot write, I cannot write. But you should not be stopped. Okay? You can write about being stuck, but you should keep your fingers moving. Okay? You just continue writing. If nothing much happens, you have lost only 10 minutes. Just you have lost 10 minutes. Okay? It's more likely, it's possible that though that something interesting will add, something interesting will write. Perhaps an eloquent speech, a thoughtful speech, a knowledgeable sentence you will write, a general expression of curiosity, or an idea or further speech, or an idea you have written that's further that is researched about. So this is freehand writing. Freehand writing means you will never think, you will never stop, just whatever comes to mind you will write. So this is the important thing. If you cannot write freely, you cannot do better in IELTS exam. Okay? So this is actually called freehand writing. So let's go to our slide and you will learn another thing. So what is IELTS writing? We'll learn now. In IELTS writing, there are two parts, task 1 and task 2. Task 1 deals with 5 or 6 kinds of topics, and task 2 deals with 8 or 9 kinds of topics. In our next slide, we will discuss. You have to answer both task 1 and task 2 within 1 hour, but remember, you must finish writing within 55 minutes, because 5 minutes you need to revise your writing. In task 1, you have to write at least 150 words. In task 2, you must write at least 250 words. How is your writing assessed? Okay, how somebody get 5, 5.56, 6.57, 7.58, 8.5 or 9 or how? What's the criteria? Things to consider. Grammar. Definitely grammar is very, very important. Zero tolerance. If you can write grammatically correct sentence, you cannot expect a better score. Vocabulary. Definitely you have to have lovely vocabulary, appropriate word in the appropriate place. Never use good, 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 very good all the time, very happy. Instead of very happy, like superb. Instead of very good, like exquisite. Instead of very hungry, like ravenous. Instead of very bad, like atrocious. Instead of very poor, like destitute. So this type of word you will use. Then coherence and cohesion. You will write about coherence and cohesion. Never go beyond the topic. Okay, write according to the topic. Then task response. Something will get in your task, and you have to respond according to your task. You have to look for actually. So this is the IELTS writing cover page. So when you go for the IELTS exam, you will get this. So this is academic or general. If you go for general, you write general. If you are academic, you write academic. Task 1, you will start from here, and the task 2, you will start from here. So in the last part, you see that there is something written. T are task response, C coherence and cohesion, L are lexical resources, I mean vocabulary, grammatical rules, sentence construction, everything they will look for. So in each part, there's a 9, 9, 9, and 9. So for example, in task response, you have got 6, here you have got 7, let's say you have got 8, grammar you have got 7. So average you might get 7 or 7.5. So that will be your score in IELTS writing. But there are other things you need to consider under length. Okay. For example, they instructed you to write 250 words, but you have written 240 words. You cannot get better score. Off topic. They told you to write about computer, importance of computer in education, but you have written importance of computer. That is totally off topic. You cannot expect better score. Number of words. Okay, they will count it. Memorize. Sometimes some people say that industry is the key to success in life. Honesty is the best policy. No, from that you cannot expect better score. Penalty. How much score you will get less. They will get eligible. The examiner cannot read your writing. Okay, so you have to write clearly. So these are the things that we look for. Okay. Now, what is task 1? In task 1, definitely you have to write 150 words, and that will take 20 minutes. Actually, you will get 17 minutes, not 20 minutes, because 3 minutes, by 2 minutes, you will understand the topic, by 1 minute, you will provide revision. So, what are the task 1? Bar graph, pie chart, line graph, table, and diagram. These are the first 5 kinds of task 1. One by one, we will discuss in our next video. So, for particular topic, there is particular rules and regulation. There's a rule for writing bar graph, there's a rule for writing pie chart, there's a rule for writing line graph, table, and diagram. So I'll write in text 2. 250 words and 40 minutes. There are 8 kinds of text 2. Opinion and argumentative. There are 3 types of opinion and argumentative. Number 1, do you agree or disagree? Number 2, to what extent do you agree or disagree? Number 3, discuss both views and give your opinion. Advantages and disadvantages. Just simply discuss advantages and disadvantages. Does advantages outweigh the disadvantages? Discuss advantages and disadvantages and give your opinion. Cause and effect, problem and solution. So these are the 8 kinds of writing text 2. Now we'll go for the use of linkers. I will show you practically how we can do better, how we can make simple writing into better writing one. So now we will learn the use of linkers. So what is linkers and how can you use it? This is simple writing. I went to the beach. There were so many jellyfish. I wanted to stay there. I had a good time. I met my friends. This is simple writing. If you can write like such type of sentence, you can only expect 5 or 5.5, not more than that. Now we'll make it better one. Just, you see, There were so many jellyfish. I wanted to stay there. This jellyfish is negative things because it's harmful for your body. But instead of not going, you want to go there. So this sentence, there were so many jellyfish. I want to stay there. Positive and negative. Okay. You know that jellyfish is dangerous thing, but you want to go there. So that's why we use but. But I wanted to stay there. I had a good time, and I went with friends. So we have used. So just only for these two linkers, but and thus writing is better. Okay. So only for these two linkers, that writing is better. Now we are going to write better way. We want to use complex sentence. Though there were so many jellyfish, I wanted to stay there. I had a good time because I met my friends. So if you can write such way, definitely you can expect better score. Now, by this way, you can get only 6 to 6.5, not 7, 7.5, because you need to change the internal word. Now we'll change the internal word. You see, I went to the place. I went. This went is a normal word. Instead of went, write something like visited, discovered, explored. I did or travel. I visited to the beach. Not a simple beach, charming. I visited charming beach. Do there were so many, never use so many, use unique. Do there were numerous, poisonous, jellyfish. I not wanted. I decided to stay, not stay, because stay for short time and decide for long. I decided to reside there. I had a good time. Never use good or time. I had an amazing moment because I met my bosom friend. Now read the things what I have written. I visited the charming place. Though there were numerous poisonous jellyfish, I decided to reside there. I had an amazing moment because I met my bosom friends. Okay, instead of met, you can write encountered. Encountered means that actually unexpected meeting. You don't know that your friend is visiting the civic. So that's why instead of meet, we will use encounter. So this is how your writing will be better. Let's go to another slide. So these are the connectors of addition. In addition, furthermore, moreover, you can write this. So in addition, furthermore, you see that this color, because first you will use in addition, then furthermore, then moreover. Never use moreover at the beginning. That will be wrong. For example, with one thing you want to add another thing. In that case, you will use in addition to. For example, Mr. Hassan has a car. In addition to this, he owns a lovely house. Furthermore, he has recently bought a jet plane. Moreover, next month he's going to buy an island in the Atlantic Ocean or somewhere else. So this is how. So with one thing, if you want to add another thing, you will use in addition. With two things, if you want to add another thing, you need to use furthermore. With all things, if you want to add one thing, you need to use moreover. And the same way, similarly, likewise, in the same way, beside not only but also, just you will add this something, positive or negative. These are called linkers of addition. Now, let's go. We'll see how we'll use it. Okay. Here we'll use in addition, furthermore, moreover, because not only but also. I don't like using the computer. I cannot type quickly. Sometimes the computer crashes and I lose all my material. There are viruses and an advertisement. Connecting to the internet is expensive. So this is all a negative thing about computer. So just we will add with each other. We'll use the linkers and we'll use complex sentence also or compound sentence. So first one, let's start. I don't like using the computer because I cannot type quickly. So because we will make it complex sentence. In addition, now This is the problem. In addition to this, sometimes the computer crashes and I lose all my material. Now, furthermore, there are not only viruses. Instead of and, we write but also any attachment. Now we'll use moreover. Moreover, connecting to the internet is expensive. So this is how we'll write. Now you see, I don't like using the computer because I cannot type quickly. In addition to this, sometimes the computer crashes and I lose all my material. Furthermore, there are not only viruses but also an advertisement. Moreover, connecting to the internet is expensive. So this is how we'll use linkers. You see? Furthermore, but also, not only but also, moreover, or in addition. Same way you can use in addition, furthermore, moreover. Okay. Now we'll go for the characters of contrast. Just we want to present positive or negative things. For example, you have written some positive things about computer. Now you would like to write negative things about computer. In that case, if you want to switch your idea from positive to negative or negative to positive, you should use the contrast, connectors of contrast. However, in spite of, despite of, in contrast, on the other hand, on the contrary, this type of thing you need to use. Connector borders. Firstly, one by one after another, just you will maintain chronology. In that case, you will use connector of border. Connector of borders. I mean sequence. So logically, you will use this connector border. Finally, thirdly, afterwards, we put the these are the connectors of borders. Then other connectors. Fortunately, unfortunately, I mean everything is negative, but fortunately, you have done this. In the case, you will use fortunately. Unfortunately, everything was in favor of you, but unfortunately you could not do that. So in the case of all negative, you will get good thing. In the case that is fortunately, in the case of all good thing, you are getting negative thing. That in that case you will use unfortunately. Luckily, obviously, for example, for instance, such as provide example, we actually use this linkers. Okay. Lastly, we'll go for a exercise. You see the exercise. John and Carol during vacation did not go off as planned at all. The flight was delayed unexpectedly. They had to wait for 6 hours at the airport. During the flight, there was a lot of turbulence, and Carol got sick. When they landed, they found that the rental car agency did not have a car ready for them. They were able to rent a car from another company. The weather was rainy and cold in Paris. They had to spend more money than they had planned because everything was so expensive. They were very disappointed. There were many enjoyable moments. So there were many enjoyable moments. This is only the positive things. Before what we have read or what we have known, everything is negative thing. So with positive and negative thing, you can just only use however. You see, this however, we'll just use however with this. Okay, let's try. What can we do? You see, John and Carol vacation did not go up as planned at all. First of all, that flight was delayed unexpectedly. They had to wait for 6 hours at the airport. Moreover, during the flight, there was a lot of turbulence in Canada. When they finally landed, they found that the rental car agency did not have a car ready for them. Fortunately, they were able to rent a car from another company. On the other hand, the weather was rainy and cold in Paris. They had to spend more money than that but because everything was so expensive. They were a bit disappointed. However, there were many enjoyable ones. So this is how we will use linkers to get the for better score in the case of coherence and cohesion. Now, how you begin paragraph? You can use these linkers to begin with firstly or at the beginning. After introduction, you will write the first paragraph. So first paragraph you can begin with firstly at the beginning or first of all you can use this to provide example. Instead of for example, because you will provide 3 to 4 examples. You can write, for instance, to explain such as, because, to illustrate, to expand. Okay. Linkers for conclusion. To conclude, at the end, to the end. These 3 linkers are very, very important for you, but if you use to sum up from the above discussion, finally, no, that is not appropriate for your writing conclusion. Okay. So, friends, these are the basic thing for our writing. Actually, today we have taught all these things: what is freehand writing, what is IELTS writing, how do writing essays, complex sentence and use of linkers, how to start and end essay, what is task 1 and task 2. Everything we have discussed. If you have any question, please comment in our comment box. We'll answer appropriately. So have a good day. Thank you very much.